What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fitness Realty channel. My name is TJ McLelland and I'm the broker. I'm super excited to share all the things we have planned with you. So sit back, strap in, and let's have some fun. What's up, everybody? Hey, we're here for episode 44. We got Will Bartlett. I'm so excited. We are going to be showcasing Pyroputty firestarter. I actually met Will out at the Off-Road Expo, which was incredible. And to be honest with you, Will, around your booth, there were just a lot of people, and we were all kind of intrigued, shocked, and also like, hey, when can we always play with Putty? Like, this is awesome. And fire. Ooh. So will you just kind of give us a little bit of an intro and just talk a little bit about yourself, a little bit of background?
So I'm 46 years old. I've been in the maintenance industry most of my life. Worked as a Sears technician. Went to a little bit of college for graphic design and different things. And I'm actually dyslexic, and so I struggle with reading still today. And I never thought I would own my own business. I thought I would be a blue collar worker my whole life. But I like inventing things, making things. I have a mind that I can look at something, take it apart, see how it works, put it back together, make it better, do different things to it. And so quite a few years ago, we actually came to the market in 2018.
Oh, wow.
But I had been making putty before that for friends and family, and they're like, hey, man, you need to take this stuff and go with a Shark Tank and bring it to market. And, and I was like, well, I don't know about that. And, because at that point, I've been working as a custodian at an elementary school for 14 years. And also driving school bus, and just kind of just doing this as a hobby on the side and whatnot. And I had some good friends that were in the hunting industry. They own a company by the name of Phone Scope.
Oh, cool.
They own a kind of like a upstart company called Scoped Industries. And so they decided, they'd went on a hunt and they had tried to use a few fire starters and had problems getting the fire lit and ended up having to light a backpack on fire to get a fire lit because it didn't rain, And so they asked me to come in and pitch it to them. And so I came in and I had 3 of the different colors, which we'll talk about later, floating in a jar of water for a few days. And they said, well, what's it floating in? Kerosene? And I said, no, it's been floating in water for 3 days. And so I pulled it out, pulled it apart, exposed the fibers, and lit it, kind of like the little demo I did for you at the show. And they said, that stuff's awesome. We want to partner with you. We want to help you bring it to market, and we want to be your partners in the company. And so I think it was around November of 2018, we started manufacturing it for the mass market, and we went down to SHOT Show in Vegas.
Wow.
For the first time. And down there, one of the news networks that does their hunting stuff, the local news thing, picked us up as one of the nice new products of the year, and it just kind of went from there. But kind of what makes Pyroputty different, and we're starting to get people that are trying to copy it and do different things, but I actually had, the way I came up with Pyroputty was I had another little invention I was working on, which is a little backpack stove that folded up flat, but it needed a good long burning fire starter. And the problem was you needed to light it back up inside where it would draft properly and do different things. And so I could mold to a stick and light it, or otherwise I had to carry like a torch to light it, or something like that.
Weird.
Like, I don't want anything like that. So I started messing around with things and doing different things and come up with it. And then, like I said, I started showing it to friends and family, and they were like blown away by it,
Right.
And so that's kind of how Pyroputty it's actually an afterthought of another product I was working on. So,
Right.
And now it's picked up so much. I put the little stove on the back burner.
Whoa. Hey, that's so cool. Something I kind of want to highlight off of what you said for all of our listeners. One, you kind of like had this idea and you kind of ran with it, but also showed some family, and then all of a sudden it started really producing. So for some of our listeners, there's this mindset that it's like, well, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I can't do something. But if you put your mind to it, like, you can hurdle these big giant hurdles that maybe the mind thinks that you can't, and then all of a sudden you start actually producing, which is so cool. And then number 2 is something that I always find interesting is we all come from different backgrounds, and sometimes like the background might not feel like you can be a business owner. But being a business owner in a true fashion, it can come from every background, which I'm so excited to share you and your story and experience with our listeners so that they can understand they can do things.
Yeah, it's changed. Social media and the internet has changed the way people do business. I mean, most of my friends started their careers when they were young and then had families. I raised a family. I have 4 boys.
Whoa, all right.
Yep, I've got 4 boys, one married, one getting married this year in July.
Nice.
And then I've got a set of twins at home that are going to be juniors or seniors next year in high school.
Oh, wow.
Well, I raised my family first and worked a blue-collar job the first part of my life because I wanted to spend that time with my family, and I still spend a lot of time with my family. My boys come home on the weekends still, and we eat together, and one brings his wife, and the other one brings his fiance, and we hang out, we do things, and it's cool, it's fun, and that was a big part of, I love to cook, I love to do lots of things, and I always told my wife I want to start my own business, but I put that on the back burner for the family. Yeah. Just to have that time with my kids, and so at 47, going to be 47 in November, and
nice.
Been to the market for 4 years now,
which is so powerful.
Yeah, and so, but it's also, I didn't think what it would be either. I mean, a lot of businesses will have their product produced for them, and we're actually a manufacturer.
Interesting.
So every drop of the putty touches my hands.
Wow.
I batch every single bit of it, and then it's sent out to local stay-at-home moms that need jobs, and they can it and package it from home and return it, and I pay them for that.
Oh, wow.
And then a lot of our strikers are stuff, and that we have in our lighters are stuff that I've designed, and then have the parts and pieces manufactured, then sent here, and then everything's assembled, packaged, and sent out from here. So I'm a business, but I'm mainly a manufacturer. And then my partners in the company who own Scoped Industries and PhoneScope, kind of like my distributors to dealers and stores and different things. And
that's awesome.
And so my job is to produce and manufacture and design the product and packaging, and then my partners help ship it, help push the sales, and do the kind of the marketing thing on their end.
Man, that's so cool.
And so I've kind of been able to split some of those responsibilities up where I would have to take all of those responsibilities, my partners, and that's a good thing with having partners. A lot of people try to go to it by themselves, and sometimes it works with partners and sometimes it doesn't, and those are just things you got to work out and get it going in the right direction. So
right. No, I totally agree. Well, let's kind of talk about the product itself then real fast, because we really haven't touched on the product itself too much. But I wanna just make sure that our listeners know exactly what it is. So will you describe what the product is and what kind of need it can facilitate?
Okay. So Pyroputty is a non-toxic to touch or to eat.
Oh, interesting.
So that, because it looks playful and colorful, we wanted it to be safe for children and for animals and the environment and those type of things. So for actually handling it, a lot of fire starters on the market that are in this form are not be able to, you can't touch them because they're so toxic. It also has waterproofing capabilities in it. So if it's exposed to water, it sheds the water. If it sets in water for a long time, you can actually squeeze the water out of it and still light it on fire. It has a long burn time based on the size of piece that you're able to use. And one of the best things about it is it's easy to process it. So to process it, you basically just pinch a piece and pull it. And when you pull it, it exposes some fine fibers out the end of it. And you're able to hit them with a spark or a flame, and then it ignites. It's also sticky, which a lot of fire starters aren't sticky. So you're able to now pre-stack your wood, mold that to the end of a stick, and light it, and you have a torch to place into the fire. Or you can actually mold it to the wood, light it, and then turn the wood upside down, and it's sticking to the bottom side of the wood and burning. And so, for example, a pea-sized piece, you're getting 1 minute to 1.5 minutes of burn time, which is all you really need for a dry situation where your wood's not damp or wet.
Mm-hmm.
And if you use a nickel-sized ball, we use it in that terminology because it's like, how big of a pinch do you need? Well, if
Right.
you pull a pinch out big enough for a nickel-sized ball, that's 6 to 8 minutes worth of burn time.
Oh, wow.
And so when we first started into the market, we just made the orange summer blend, and we started getting feedback from people saying, hey, I'm out at 20 or 30 below, and it's really hard to process this to light it.
Uh-huh.
So we said, well, we need to maybe bring another blend for really cold weather. And so we come up with the winter blend, which hits that low temperature range. So it's still pliable and moldable below those lower temperature ranges.
Oh, wow.
And we still kept the summer blend because right now that's one thing I'm still working on, and I'm trying to make a blend that'll do it all. But
Yeah.
when you're adding temperature ranges in there, that changes the conditions of everything.
Right.
And so to make it still soft below zero and then still in a putty form above 100 degrees,
Right.
that's something I'm still trying to work on. And so until then, we had the summer and winter. After we were into the market a year, we had a gentleman that did these enduro runs, go and run trails, and he was in an event up in Jackson Hole, and he had bought some Pyroputty and a lighter from me, the electric arc lighters, and he carried it in his fanny pack on his run.
Oh, wow.
He emailed me and said, thanks, you saved me and about 5 other guys' life today.
Whoa, wow, really?
He said we were about 2 hours into the run, and it started snowing.
Oh.
And everybody was in tank tops and shorts.
Oh, no.
And he said, so everything was cold, wet. And he said, I went off to the side of the trail, started gathering wood, breaking branches, took a piece of your putty out, lit it, got a fire going, and then as people would run by, they would stop by the fire.
Nice.
Until we had help. And that's probably the coolest thing. I mean, it's awesome to own a business, but it's awesome when I hear back from people that use the product. And we probably average 2 or 3 people a year now that will contact us and say, hey, you saved my life.
Yeah. No, that's so cool.
And that's what makes it worth it. Here a year or so ago, there was an older couple that was avid hikers that lived down in Cedar City, St. George area, and they've hiked the trails their whole lives out through there, and they decided to go on a hike one evening, and somebody had just given them, my sister's friend had just given, they were her parents, and they had just given them some Pyroputty as a gift, and so they carried it with them on the hike. And they thought they were going to be back home in time, and so they didn't take a lot of water with them. They didn't take any coats with them. He just had a little light pack with a little bit of water and whatnot, and they went off hiking, and they took a wrong turn.
Oh, no.
Ended up several miles from where they were supposed to be, and they didn't know where they were at. They had spotty cell reception, so they were able to get a few text messages out to their family, but they still couldn't get a location on them. And by this time it was dark, and they said, we have a helicopter out looking for you, but we don't know where you're at. Yeah. And so he pulled the Pyroputty and the lighter out. Oh, wow. Lit a fire on the top of a little peak area just for the helicopter to find them.
Holy cow.
And so, and then the cool thing is actually, what was it? Just yesterday, my wife said one of her coworkers went on a cruise. They went down to Cancun or whatever. Yeah. And they said they come back and they ran into a couple that was from Idaho. And they said, where are you from? And they said, well, we're from Beaver, Utah. And they said, why? Do you know Phone Scope? And they're like, yeah, but do you know the guy that invented Pyroputty? And they said, actually, yes, I work with his wife.
Oh, nice. Holy cow. Small world.
They said, I want you to tell him thanks because we went out the other day and we were out and we couldn't get a fire lit with anything until we pulled the Pyroputty out. Oh, and nobody froze to death, and it saved our lives. It's awesome stuff. And well, those are the cool things, and that I get, when I hear back from people, and I get people at the shows that'll come up to me. And the cool thing is, you said you saw that big, huge group. Yep. Probably one of those was a previous customer. The other 5 were people that they brought to my booth.
Oh, cool.
Purchase it because they had used my product.
Right.
I get a lot of that, a lot of my repeat customers when I'm at shows. They'll bring their friends, they'll bring their family,
right?
Anybody,
Like, you got to get this stuff.
yeah, you got to get this stuff, man. It's it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's something for the everyday outdoorsman to use. Even if you're not an outdoorsman, it's just a good thing to carry in your car in a snowstorm. It's a good thing to, put in your 72-hour kits. It does not have a shelf life,
Oh, interesting.
even if the package is open. So, yeah, if you open the package, you don't have to use it all up. You can just close the package.
Yeah.
If it is sealed tight, you don't have to worry about it drying out or going bad. It's something that's really dependable. It's lightweight. It's had a long burn time, and it's easy to light.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Once it's fully engulfed in a flame, it has a good wind resistance. So if you've got windy conditions, that helps as well. And so those are some of the other aspects of it. The color pigment we put in it. So we color code it according to temperature ranges. We also have a yellow blend. A few years back, we had a bunch of friends that are backpackers and hikers, and they're like, can you make it easier to light with a striker, and can you make it lighter weight?
Oh, wow.
And so we decided to bridge that gap between summer and winter and make a spring-fall
Nice.
blend. And we also increased the fiber content in it so that it really fluffs out almost like dryer lint on steroids.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
And so you fluff it out and you hit it with a spark and it just engulfs.
Whoa.
But you still got that long burn time.
Yeah.
That you don't get with some of those lighter, fluffier fire starters. And
Yeah. I love hearing these stories, actually. I mean, just hearing that you have a product that actually enhances other people's lives and actually like brings them away from a really risky situation where it's like that could have been really bad, but this is a product that you can actually use. It's super easy to use, can get you out of a bad situation. I love this. This is so cool.
And then, like I said, when we make it, we're one of the only fire starters on the market that make a fire starter for any environment.
Right.
So it don't matter if it's sopping wet. It doesn't matter if it's freezing cold, or it doesn't matter if it's 112 during the day and then drops below 30 at night.
Yeah.
You can process it and light it in any of those conditions.
Yeah. That's amazing.
We're making and we a lot of that is from feedback we get from our customers.
Yeah.
We've redesigned our small pocket striker. This is our second revision of it based off of feedback from our customers. That wasn't a cheap thing to do because we had already had paid for all of the manufacturing and dyes and molds and all those type of things
Right.
for the previous one. But when somebody says, hey, the rod's too small and it's hard to strike. Hey, it doesn't hold enough putty in it. Hey, the striker is small and hard to hold. You change it.
Yeah.
And by doing so, we get better feedback from our customers, and they love our product, and we're growing. And we've went from selling 3 times more product this year than we did the previous year.
Wow.
And COVID was a better year than our first 2 years.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
The cool thing is, if you listen to your customers and you provide a quality product, they're going to come back and buy it. They're going to share it with friends and family. And that's why you can see every year we've doubled sales since we've started.
Yeah.
You can find us on Amazon Prime.
Cool.
You can find us in Sportsman's Warehouse is a big supporter and carrier of us.
Nice.
Shields is a big supporter and carrier of us, and then we've also got Optics Planet and Midway USA. And then I ask you to go check your local little hunting and fishing and archery shops because a lot of those carry us as well.
Oh, cool.
Around the state of Utah and then the surrounding states and even further out. We're trying to get more towards the East Coast in that way, and we're working into that direction as well. We just become a vendor for KOA campgrounds, so we're starting to supply a lot of those that want to carry our product, and it's just the word out as well.
I love that you take the feedback. So like for all of our listeners, those are huge business principles there. Take the feedback, listen, and pivot and do something different that is beneficial to your clients. That's really huge. And I actually want to commend you for that. Like, that's pretty cool that you can say, here's our product, but we're open to ideas to making it better, and valuing the opinion of the customer, which is so cool. So just wanted to say that's awesome.
And then we get a lot of companies that will even do co-branded stuff for us. So they want the can as basically a business card. So we're in the process of printing some custom printed cans for a company right now. We put their logo on it. We co-brand with them. We've co-branded with Pope and Young.
Oh, nice.
Here recently.
Yeah.
And
Dude, I want to do that. That sounds awesome.
But we also do a lot of charity work too. We've did custom printed cans for ball teams in the area that have sent them to raise money for their team.
Nice.
We do fundraisers for athletic groups, and we get a good price point so they can actually make some decent money off of it. We've done a couple teams down in Kanab, and I think one out of Cedar, and then a few up north. But we give back to ATV groups. The SFW, we're a big supporter of FSW.
Nice.
And so we've partnered with them on done some custom printed stuff for them as well. And so we've got I think it's called Ride for Life. I'd have to look for the flyer. They contacted me actually up to the Off-Road Expo, and they do an ATV ride to raise money for kids with cancer and different things. And so we're going to be pitching them some product, and
man, that's so cool.
Give away as prizes and different things. And I mean, we try to give where we can. I mean, we can't give to everybody, but we try to give where we can and make the most difference, because like I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my customers. So
yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Well, I guess before we wrap up, what might be the product that you would say, hey, just search this on Amazon because it fits the hiking trails that are just right around us here in Salt Lake County, maybe? Because a lot of our listeners will be Salt Lake County. So maybe describe that and where we can find it.
Yep.
And then I'll wrap up.
I would say for a backpacking and hiking situation, you're going to want to take something that's dependable. Our lighters are extremely dependable, but you do have to recharge them. So I would say a striker would be the best option.
Okay.
And online or on our websites or anything, what you're going to look for is it's called the Mini Mega Rod.
Nice.
And it comes with actually 3 different foil packs in it. It comes with the yellow, which is basically for fall, spring, a summer, and a winter. And that striker comes with it has a hollow handle that the putty actually goes inside.
Oh, cool.
And it closes up, and then it's got a striker with it, and it's lightweight, it's small, and it's compact to just go in a fanny pack, your pocket, a little day pack, and it just has to stay in there. You don't have to pull it out and charge it. You don't have to do any of those type of things.
Right.
Now, if you're somebody that doesn't want to, if you're not comfortable using a striker, and you want something that's really extremely easy to use, you're going to look for which is called our ultralight, or I'm losing my mind here.
No worries.
Our elite lighter.
Okay.
It's a gray lighter, and it has the storage compartment for the putty on the bottom of it, and the electric rechargeable lighter on the other side of it.
Nice.
Those lighters hold about 200 to 300 lights off of a single charge.
Wow.
It's got a waterproof case. It's the same lighter that Epic Outdoors took with him on a hunt to Alaska, and the one guy ended up falling in the river with the lighter.
Oh, wow.
And actually saturating his dry bag. And he actually got the lighter out of his dry bag that was full of water. Actually opened it up and got a fire lit with it. So it is extremely dependable. It's lightweight as well, and it's the easiest way to start a fire on the market right now as far as lighters go, because it's windproof, it's waterproof, and it's rechargeable. So you don't just throw it away after you're done. You just plug it in like a cell phone and recharge it.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, for all of our listeners out there, we do have a lot of avid hikers. We have mountain bikers, mountaineer people, hunters, and just every walk of life that watches with us. And we always encourage everybody to become the strongest version of themselves. And sometimes that leads them to mountain passes or going hiking and stuff. And so I really want to say thanks for showcasing your product here, that it is something that we could all benefit from. We could have it in our dry packs, or we could have it on our day pack, or something that is my personal fave that you've talked about is putting it into our 72-hour kit. I always like promoting a little bit of preparedness, and so I really like that. And so I just wanted to say thanks. So to everybody out there, this has been a fun episode with Will Bartlett from Pyroputty Firestarter. So down below on the YouTube channel, there will be links so you guys can check out his product on Amazon. most likely, or we'll just direct you to go to Shields or something wherever we go.
Or our personal website, just type in pyroputty.com and it pops up and you can buy from us personally as well.
Oh, nice. Okay, so everybody out there, pyroputty.com, and then you can find the product. So I recommend everybody get some, and like me, I'll be putting it in my 72-hour kit. All right, thanks, Will. This has been awesome, and that's a wrap. Well, that's a wrap. If you like this podcast, like, share, and comment down below. And if you want some free real estate information, check us out at fitnessrealty.com/baller. Well, thanks for supporting us. I love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Later.